It seems he echoed reasoning among Christians that they would rather be left in the dark. They falsely reasoned that understanding the dark side does not better them. They could not be more wrong, of course. Jesus did not want believers unprepared or in the dark concerning these things coming upon the earth. He warned us of such things as Nephilim and fallen angels in Matthew. Before the flood, men were drinking, marrying, eating, and all the fun stuff, right? But they were also mating with fallen angels, creating the Nephilim. And Jesus warned us 2,000 years ago about these fallen angels returning to their unnatural mating with humans. This would serve as a very serious wake-up call for all of us. In the Gospels, we are told to be mentally prepared for those things which are about to come upon us on the earth. So, the book of Enoch is really stands out with this. Some believe, had it not been for its detail concerning the fallen angels, the book of Enoch, and giants, it would have been accepted into the canon. These books do not disagree with Scripture in the least. They give more detail concerning the subjects of fallen angels and giants. And I quote this is the book of Enoch and the book of Jubilees. And it came to pass, when the children of men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the angels of God saw them on a certain year of this Jubilee, that they were beautiful to look upon. And they bore and bare unto them sons, and they were giants. According to Enoch, they created human sacrifice. They drank blood, were cannibals, and other niceties like that, okay? The book of Enoch states, and the fifth was named Kazjah. This is he who showed the children of men all the wicked smitings of spirits and demons, and the smitings of the children, that it may pass away, and the smitings of the soul, the bites of the serpent. They certainly tampered with human and animal gene pools to try and hinder redemption through a human bloodline. They were the heroes of old, the mighty men of renown, talked about in mythology and contributed to the reason God had to destroy the world. It doesn't make you wonder, okay, in Greek mythology, were these the gods that they worshipped? Was it Zeus? Was it, mighty Zeus, all the goddesses? Could these be Nephilim that the Greeks were portraying as gods? I mean, they wouldn't have known what they were. Again, it's coming full circle again, okay? The fallen angels have the following in common with UFOs. The alien abduction phenomena. Strange beings abduct women of their choosing at a time of their choosing. The great majority of abductees are women, and some kind of hybrid or Nephilim is created. All research into the UFO and abduction phenomena indicates an evil influence. So, again, it's like everything's connected somehow. This isn't something that is just by itself. So, really think about this. Seriously, it's amazing. I'm just like, wow, okay. A giant is spotted. Nephilim giants are alive today. This is an article I read, okay? A giant is supposedly spotted at King Kim Jong's funeral procession in North Korea. Isaiah relates there's a coming of an army of giants, okay? So we shall see about that. But it looks like the future is here. A military-modified super soldier is supposedly photographed attending Kim Jong's funeral. Governments are actually altering the genetic code of soldiers. Yes, I agree. It isn't. These aren't separate things anymore. The more we talk about these things, the more we find out about how UFOs were mostly, a big thing of UFO sightings were always before Nephilim was sighted. The description of them, our modern day Bigfoot, our modern day Mothman, and the years. It's all connected. It's just blowing my mind about that. The Associated Press released a photo of the procession, and a contributor pointed out a giant in the crowd. Folks, that is a Nephilim. Okay, I'm trying to... It's possible, I guess. You'll have to go look at it. I'm sure you could see it, on YouTube. But anyway, so folks said is a Nephilim seen in the AP photo. He appears to be twice as tall as the men on his right and left, 10 feet or better. Excuse me. Is this kind of, is there some kind of DNA manipulation going on? Yes. Governments are creating Nephilim. And this is proof of DNA manipulation. Unlike the giant Nephilim of the past, there are new hybrids being created in labs around the world to resemble humans. Everyone should become familiar with what transhumanism is and what it represents. Transhumanism and transgenics, okay? Transgenics is a biotechnology where the DNA of one species is blended with the DNA of a different species, crossing the species barrier. A genetically modified organism is an organism whose genetic material has been altered. Transgenic organisms are organisms that have been inserted DNA from a different species. Transhumanism looks to the shape the human species through the direct application of science. Of course, a lot of people would be astonished to learn that transgenic tinkering is already taking place in most of the world. Not counting synthetic biology, where entirely new forms of life are being brewed. There's no limit to the number of human-animal concoctions currently under development. Some believe radical alteration of Homo sapiens could open a door to unseen intelligence. Of course, we have seen with GMO crops, unpredictable things can occur when living organisms are modified in unnatural ways. All the boundaries that have defined us as human beings and boundaries between a human being and an animal are falling apart. Transgenics raises some serious questions, not to mention the abomination of creating Nephilim. Wow, I don't know. Okay, I am in Princeton, Minnesota, from 2005 to 2006. This guy lived in St. Cloud, Minnesota, and commuted 40 minutes to work. Highway 95 between St. Cloud and Princeton. In March of 2006, he hit a deer on the way home from work, and was always more cautious and attentive after that. The place where he struck the deer was the northern edge of the Sherburne National Wildlife Refuge. And he would slow down to about 45 when he would approach the refuge and holding down the high beam switch, allowing him to drive both high and low beams at the same time. About 6 weeks after he struck the deer, he was passing the refuge driving slowly. He saw the reflection of eyes like a deer or raccoon near the south bank of the highway. He slowed down further, and the animal bolted out 20 feet in front of the car. It crossed the road from south to north. He wanted to tell you that it was another deer, but he's convinced it wasn't. It moved on 2 legs, not 4. The adrenaline was pumping, thinking he was going to hit another animal, but he could see flashes of what saw in front of me as clear as yesterday. Hey, Jenny. Its forward limbs did not touch the ground. This was bipedal, maybe 6 or 7 feet tall. Brown or dark gray, the eyes were reflective like a deer's. Its limbs were long and robust like a man's, not spindly. It was covered with hair or fur, and the shape of its face was not flat like a man's, but prognathic to the point of like having a snout like a dog's. It ran across the highway and toward St. Cloud. This guy has a degree in anthropology with a minor in biology and a degree to teach. He's a teetotaler and have no religious convictions. The point is he's not prone to flights of fancy or wild imagination or drinking or anything. This looked a lot like folks have been describing as the Michigan Dog Man. Or the so-called Beast of Bray Road. Okay, these things could actually be Nephilim, okay? He got the sense that it did have triangular ears, didn't see its feet. The walk seemed like there was a spring in its step. It kind of wasn't walking flat-footed, but on the balls of his feet. So, okay, Beast of Bray Road, there you go. The Michigan Dog Man, Mothman, Bigfoot, are all these connected? Are they Nephilim? Interesting thought, right? Again, the Golden Valley, North Carolina one. Take a look. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Different, so much going on here, so much, information just keeps falling into place in a way. I think we'll take a quick break. I have a little more music for you, and we're going to talk more about the Nephilim and giants and the evidence that has been found, okay? So we'll be right back. Don't go away.